Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the 1996 classic Disney film, 101 Dalmatians. This is the live-action remake, came out November 20-something, 1996. This was like the Thanksgiving Day weekend movie. This stars Glenn Close as our one and only Cruella de Vil. Jeff Daniels plays Roger, which I find very weird because he's American and this is like a London adventure. Hugh Laurie is in this as Jasper, and Ron Weasley's dad plays Horace, and I don't remember his name. But like, it's funny like seeing all these people play certain characters, and oh god, what's her name? I forget her name. She plays Nanny in this, the housekeeper, but she is also in Dennis the Menace, which is another 90s classic film. So this, from what I read, is based more on the book than the 1961 animated Disney film. There are certain elements which are very similar. There are certain elements in this film that are not in the cartoon. And I have not watched this in decades. I remember loving this with my brother, and I would watch this all the time. We had stuffed Dalmatians from the movie. Like, we went to the theaters with our stuffed Dalmatians to watch it. Like, I remember this specifically, that our parents said we could bring them to movie theaters as like a surprise movie or something like that. But we knew we were watching Dalmatians if we were bringing our Dalmatian toys. We went to the Levittown AMC, 1996. I remember. So this is much darker than the cartoon. In the cartoon, you have the dogs talking, and the dogs reference the humans as their pets, and like, Roger is a composer, so he's trying to write some songs, and the Cruella de Vil song comes about. This 96 version is more modernized for the time, so Roger is a video game designer. He's not a song designer, and we don't get a Cruella de Vil song until the very, very end credits, when someone, I don't know who was singing, whoever was popular at that time, is singing the Cruella de Vil song. But the Roger as a video game designer is a thing, and Anita, her last name is not Darling. Roger's last name's Darling, and Anita works for Cruella. She was not an old school chum of Cruella's. And Anita's drawing of a spotted gown is what sparked the interest in Cruella wanting the Dalmatian puppies for her coat. The Dalmatian puppies have fine fur versus the older dogs who have coarse fur. That's why she wanted the puppies, so that way it's a nice soft coat. But she needed a lot of them. Now, we don't know how so many were acquired in this film. In the cartoon, it's referenced that she bought a lot of the puppies from the different pet stores. That's what one of the puppies say in the Hellhole Mansion. But it's not referenced in this film. It's very interesting when you watch things one after the other, and like you pick up certain facts and that are not translated into the next. The dog call is still relevant. Like, the dogs all speak to each other they all bark to each other to get Pongo and Perdita their information to find the puppies. Tabby the cat is not who saves the puppies. There's this random Airedale Terrier who saves the puppies. And I love Airedale Terrier. We had an Airedale here for a very long time. Her name was Rufalina. And so it brought a smile to my face seeing Rufy's kind on the screen. But Tabby was a rescue cat in the cartoon. So that was another difference on that. What? Roger was American in this for some reason. I don't know why. I thought that was weird. But it's funny because when you're a kid, you don't think of these things. You're just like, oh, puppies on a screen, and like, it was a cartoon and now it's a movie. And Glenn Close did a hell of a job. I also like that Cruella in this has House of DeVille, which is a high-end fashion line. That's where Anita, like I said, works for Cruella. I'm trying to think as my mind is racing. Also, there was a white Siberian tiger carcass that was found at the London Zoo, and Cruella had a taxidermist named Skinner, of all things, make her a shawl of this white tiger. And then at the end, the police find the white tiger pelt, which then help inform the police in Suffolk at the old DeVille mansion, which is Hell Hall, which I don't think is referenced as Hell Hall on this, now that I'm thinking about it. I don't remember seeing a sign or anybody talking about it. They just say the old DeVille place. But then Cruella is actually arrested with Jasper and with Horace and with Skinner, who doesn't speak. He just uses Morse code. And then all the puppies return to the Darling residence. Thanks to the police escorting them all. They don't take a van to London. The police literally bring them all back. And then the Darlings and Nanny all get a Dalmatian plantation at the very end for everyone to run around happily ever after, right? And that's how the last song in the cartoon was, let's get a Dalmatian plantation. So it's like nice to see an epilogue of this compared to the cartoon. But again, I never read the book, so I don't know if the book is darker. I'm assuming the book is darker because a lot of the Disney films are based off of like fairy tales, like, you know, Hans Christian Andersen or the Grimm's brothers. And those are dark stories. So I'm assuming 101 Dalmatians is a dark story, and the live action movie is closer towards the original material than the cartoon is. But honestly, I would have liked music in this, and I would have liked if the dogs spoke. It's just funny when you see it at an older age and you appreciate things more on the source material, that I wanted more and I wanted Roger to be an English man, not an American man. I don't know. When I was a kid, I loved it. So I have all these happy memories of watching it with my brother, but watching it as an adult, I have to critique it. And I think Cruella, the film that just came out, is impeccable in the character development of having a younger Cruella become Cruella, and then how does she go from this young Cruella to this Glenn Close Cruella, right? Obviously, there's a form of psychosis going on, but what triggers the more extreme psychosis of the psychotic? Oh, Cruella was great. I can't wait to watch it again. So yes, we're going to watch 102 Dalmatians, which is the live-action sequel to this. And I don't remember it, to be completely honest, because I know that there's a macaw involved, but that's really it, because Cruella is arrested at the end of this film. So how does she get out of jail? We shall see. And then after that is the cartoon 101 Dalmatians 2 Patch's London Adventure, which I think is a musical. And I know it received a lot of awards for like cartoon stuff. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'm excited to see that. I've never seen it before. And then we'll rewatch Cruella and talk about that. And then we'll jump into the Indiana Jones movies and then the Purge movies. And we got so many things. But then we also got Ryan the Last Dragon coming up. And we got Conjuring 3 coming up. Like, we got stuff to watch and discuss. It's going to be a busy summer. My version of a hot boy summer is watching things to catch myself up and discuss it so that my memory is still fresh and good. Okay, that's it for today. Mucho mahalo.